We have Destiny Heroes for you today, some Umbral horror action, and even Unchained too. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more. I've been following a lot of these hero innovations out here, and there's been watching this deck actually play is also kind of crazy because getting access into Dreadnought, he's just such an incredibly large monster that just smashes through a lot of these unfair scenarios, and he himself, I mean, is just a huge attack point boy. Getting the ability to, this card's original attack is total original attack of all Destiny Hero monsters on your field and in your graveyard. Yeah, this thing can get very nasty on its stat lines just because of what, you're able to make access to. And then, of course, we have the base form Dreadmaster in here as well. Like, Dreadnought was an incredibly cool upgrade to this deck. Now, because we are playing Destiny Heroes, you have to remember Fusion Destiny is just like one card full gas for this deck. If you do hit the Fusion Destiny, you kind of just get to play the deck and, as you would kind of expect it to do. I also see we are playing the Wing Karibo Sabatil level 10. You're using this to go search for polymerization. Because, let's take a look down here within your extra deck. 2 level 5 Destiny Hero monsters. You might have to sometimes make this, not always, but I mean, you can stumble into it, but also, like the Dustopia stuff. I see we are playing the Contrast Hero line here as well. Just gives you extra access into some of the extra little methods to kind of work through the deck. So, kind of cool. And Dark City is a broken card. Next up is the Umbral Horror strategy. And honestly, I am kind of happy to see Umbral Horror doing well, but also you have Goblinbergs in here. You have the rank 4 package to kind of help you out. We also have the mini, Rizal stuff in here, which, I mean, kind of makes sense, right? You're playing rank 4 turbo. And we also have the Gaga Magic just to be able to, combine up for an extra extender. Because, I mean, this card's in your hand. You can special summon it and a Zubaba Gaga Go 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 or Do 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 Do, which is kind of good. And also, this 1,000 Umbral Horror getting to beam out 7th Baryon so that you can basically floodgate your opponent, or at least, force them to pivot into an SP to answer this, really is problematic for both players. I do like the fact that we do have something like this, that, obviously they still want you to be able to enjoy playing the numbers decks, but I think it's really cool that they were able to finally create a floodgate conditional effect like this for the game that actually works. It's not hurting things. Also, we are side decking the triple spatial Trunade. Really kind of emphasizes how good that this card can be. Also, we have the Utopia, the Envoy of Light, having that number clause actually built into himself, I think is really, really funny. But yeah, Umbral Horror is looking like a lot of fun, man. Next up here, we get to see some of the Unchained action. And now that the OCG actually has Booyo and Mutiny in the Sky, they can actually kind of do some of the cooler play lines that, the kind of TCG was emphasizing around with in the very early stages of this deck, which I think is fine. You also do get to see the Invader of Darkness popping his ugly little head down here as well, because making it, free access to a fiend monster that, your opponent cannot activate quick play cards, shuts out your Radiant Typhoon matchup like that, and obviously, Runic, but I mean, nobody's playing Runic in 2026, you kind of get your blowout cards. Also, you do get to play the Fiendsmith package in this. There's no reason for you to not want to play the Fiendsmith package, especially when Wave King Kaiser is still one of the greatest end-board monster pieces that you can kind of pivot into and set up with. Because, I mean, as we've seen, being able to provide yourself with this little lockdown here and make it so the opponent can't actually pivot and do anything is kind of nice. Also, the Delta Gamma driver, all of this little shenanigans that we kind of get set up for here is actually kind of strong. But outside of that, yeah, good to see like a Fiendsmith Unchained pile actually doing its job and still doing decently well. Obviously, Fiendslop is pretty good. Next up, we get to see some Toon decks. Now, keep in mind with the way that tunes are performing right now, there's a lot of cool different variations that we can kind of swing through with these lists just to be able to kind of get the best results. This build is choosing to play the Tri-Brigade package, which I think is fine, right? You've already got access to a beast monster here, and same thing with the cat. So both of these are providing you, unironically, extra little fuel for you to be able to go through with the combo lines, which that's honestly kind of impressive to think about. That, you know, the funny little bunny access just makes your deck a whole lot more consistent for you to work with. Little things like that are the interactions that we like to see within the deck. But obviously, you know, having access to, you know, just this is good. Also, the Evil Box being able to provide you with the Toon Terror setup all by its lonesome is also really good. You're also only playing the one Dark Eyes Illusionist Mage in here, just so you know we can kind of pivot into the Mind Scan, because getting that Mind Scan knowledge away from your opponent and knowing exactly, you know, how we have to pivot through the combo lines and know exactly, you know, where the choke points are going to be with the opponent's hand. That knowledge is 100% absolutely needed and very, very important. Next up here, we have the, you know, I'm glad to see that we are doing the ha-ha funny. We're doing Radiant Typhoon, but we are playing the triple Dark Time Wizard in here. Now, you're just using this to miss the coin toss, right? Just to be able to get the Red Eyes Exceed Dragon up and running, because that's all that this has to do. It's really funny because, unironically, this still provides you with a toss a coin and then destroy things. And then if not, you know, you just cheese out the Red Eyes. I figured there'd be more of an emphasis on, you know, having a target to pull for this, but that's not what they're doing here. They're just using it for the technical board interruption that you're able to provide with this. We're also playing Goemon, the world's greatest thief, in here. This card gets better and better the more that I see the cool different list that pop up trying to play it, because this card's whole job is just to be able to, you know, you go second, eat your opponent's field, and kind of call it a day, right? And then you just kind of wash your hands with it. Obviously, that's good enough. You know, pouring through these combo lines and breaking up these fields is exactly the kind of stuff that, you know, we need to be seeing. So I like this. Also, we have the Sheena twins in here, which is good. I think this all works out kind of nicely for a, you know, going second, kind of break the field deck. We have a Yugi Rolad deck actually playing the Black Skull Dragon of Unity. I do like this card. I mean, it's things that, you know, you have to pitch a quick play spell card in order to get the best possible advantage off of it. But it's not like, you know, you're not getting these bags. This is also where you get to play the Chaos Mystic Box in here as well, just to kind of give you that additional little filter to kind of get those end boards up and running. Also, you know, the protection. Also, we are playing the Chaos End Ruler, which, I mean, it is banishing a Light Warrior and a Dark Fiend. I mean, we have the Dark Fiend right here. We just have to, you know, get that Light Warrior, but obviously this is a tall order to make, but it is a cheeky little piece in the deck. I hadn't really thought about including the Chaos Unruler in a, you know, Rolad deck, but it is a funny little piece of history just to kind of extend with. And then, of course, we do get to see the water strategy. I've been actually kind of liking watching these water decks kind of come out of the woodwork here and do its thing. Now remember, I mean, the job of this deck is everything becomes Umi on the field. We get to slam through the big guy here and then control the opponent through the Link 3s. You know, the Daedalus forcing the shuffle back here is good, but also the OCG does get to do some little meaner things with the Bahamut Shark, which actually does kind of potentially pivot through and do some things. Which can be a little bit sad that we don't have access to the shark plus the little toad, and the OCG does get that. But I mean, this is water control. This is exactly what you want to be messing around with. You know, your job is to control the opponent, and congratulations, you know, you've kind of come up with some potentially other interesting choices that they could work with. So, what do you guys kind of think about everything here? Please, you know, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. See your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. Patrons, thank you. Whoa!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.